So this is it. I just got my hands on the iPhone 8. And by the way, this is the iPhone 8 in the new gold color. So this is the new gold color. And this is my unboxing and my first impressions of the first of the 3 new iPhones for 2017. So the iPhone 10 is coming out in November. And until then, we have the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. Now, speaking of the Plus, I will have an unboxing and a first impressions on the Plus pretty soon, so definitely stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and turn on notifications by simply tapping on that bell icon so that you don't miss that video. But yeah, other than that, grab some popcorn and enjoy my unboxing and my quick initial review of the iPhone 8. Okay, so taking a look at the box first, we can see that the design is pretty similar to the iPhone 7 boxes, except for 2 different things. So the first one is this reflective separator here on the front that pretty much tells you that, hey, this one comes with a glass back, so this is the iPhone 8, definitely not a 7. And then the second difference is that now all the iPhone 8 boxes are basically color matched to the iPhone inside, not just the iPhone image on the front. So for example, I'm not sure how well you can tell from the video, but this box has this gold/pinkish look to it, so this cream color, instead of being just a white box like we had with pretty much all the previous iPhones except for the jet black iPhone 7. Oh, and the 3G, 3GS and the original iPhone. Now on the top and the bottom, we do have an Apple logo, which also has this copper-like color, and it's kind of reflective, and on the sides we have just iPhone, so just the iPhone branding, no iPhone 8 or anything. And the iPhone logo has the same color and it's made out of the same reflective surface as the Apple logo on the top and the bottom. Then on the back we get a listing of the capacity, so this is the 64 gigabytes, which is now the baseline model for the iPhone 8. And then we have a listing of everything that's included inside. So let's open up the box, and the first thing that we get is this booklet. As always, designed by Apple in California. And inside that booklet, we get, the quick start manual, which tells you a few things on how to get going. Now, this is actually a redesigned manual. This is a redesigned quick start guide from the iPhone 7 one. So you get things such as the button positioning and so on. Now, you can find a full manual online, by the way. And then you also get the warranty and the safety guide. We also get a SIM eject tool, which looks the same as the ones we had before. And of course, as always, we get a pair of 2 Apple stickers. Now, interesting enough, same as before, those stickers are still white. So we only get color matching stickers with a 12-inch MacBook and the Mac Pro. So I really don't know why we only get color matching stickers with those 2 products. But anyway, white stickers as on almost every single Apple product. And then we finally get to the iPhone. So the iPhone 8, the new color, feels pretty good in the hand. So I'm just gonna put this to the side for just 1 second and see what else we get inside. So the first thing that we get is this power adapter, which is the UK model because I live in UK. But of course that you will be getting a power adapter that matches your region. And this is not a quick charging power adapter, by the way. So this is still a 5-watt power adapter that takes ages to charge your iPhone, especially if you have an iPhone Plus. Now, if you do need a fast charging power adapter, I left the link for a pretty good one that's also kind of cheap when compared to a MacBook charger in the description. So definitely check the description if you want to get a pretty good fast charger for the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 10. Then the next thing that we get inside the box is the Apple EarPods. Not the Apple AirPods, so these are not wireless. You do have to purchase the AirPods separately, by the way. So these are, the Lightning EarPods because the iPhone 8, same as with the iPhone 7, doesn't have a headphone jack anymore. Now, speaking of headphone jacks, we still get a 3.5mm to Lightning adapter. So it's good to see that Apple still includes this in the box. So in case you want to use your own headphones, you just use this adapter and there you go. You can now use your own headphones. And then finally, we get a USB-A, not USB-C to Lightning cable, by the way. So it's a bit weird that Apple is still using USB-A in 2017 when they've actually removed USB-A completely on all of their MacBooks, except for the MacBook Air, which has an older design. So if you have a new MacBook and you want to connect your new iPhone to the new MacBook, you actually have to buy an adapter, which is weird. I mean, if you have a Samsung, you can connect it directly to the MacBook because it's still USB-C. Apple, still Lightning, unfortunately. Hopefully in a few years, they'll switch to USB-C as well. But that's pretty much it. So we don't get anything else inside the box. So let's go back to the iPhone and let me just peel the plastic foil off. So listen and enjoy. Okay, so I've set up my iPhone 8 and I've used it for about an hour, and here are my actual first impressions on the iPhone 8. Okay, so first off, the gold looks gorgeous. So it's really similar to cream, you know, those cream ceramic tiles that you might have seen in some kitchens or bathrooms. So in my opinion, it looks much, much better than the previous gold and rose gold color options. I really like how it reflects the light. It's a bit more difficult to tell on camera, but it's definitely my favorite gold color option so far. It looks really premium and stylish in my opinion. Now, speaking of the design, the designed by Apple in California label on the back is now gone, but that's only on the US models, by the way. So this is a European model, and the designed by Apple in California and CE labels, all of them are still there, unfortunately. So on the US model, you get no labels, and the iPhone looks so much better. You just get iPhone and the Apple logo on the back, so it looks much better, much nicer, and much cleaner. But other than that, the iPhone 8 looks almost identical to an iPhone 7, except for obviously the glass back. So it is heavier though, and also thicker by 0.2 millimeters, and I can actually notice both of them. So especially when holding this in hand, it definitely feels heavier, and also a bit more bulkier than an iPhone 7, an iPhone 6s, not even to mention an iPhone 6. Also, in case you're wondering, if you have any tighter cases, like for example the Apple leather ones, they won't fit on the iPhone 8 that well. So they do feel a bit too tight on the device, but given that this is leather, it will stretch in time a bit, so you could use those. But if you have any silicone cases or any cases that are not as tight as the leather ones, you should be fine. Okay, so a few new features on the iPhone 8 that I want to mention. So the first one would be the True Tone display. So you actually get this when you configure the iPhone for the first time, and this is how it looks with a True Tone display, and this is how it looks without the True Tone display enabled. So what this does is that it changes the white point of the display, or the white balance, to make it easier for the eyes. So the white balance of the display will match the environment that you're in. I personally don't like my phone changing the white balance, especially when I'm working with photos or videos, so I will probably keep this one off. Now, speaking of interesting new features, another interesting one is the True Tone flash. So this one has been improved. So it's not only brighter, it's way brighter than the iPhone 7 one. Hopefully you can see this. But it also comes with something called slow sync. So long story short, it basically syncs with the shutter speed, and the photos that you take with a flash at night, they would look much more natural rather than, you know, that flash-like effect. Now, another new feature on the iPhone 8 is wireless charging. Now, this is not anything new. I mean, it's new for the iPhones, but we've had wireless charging on Android phones for like 5+ years. But still, it's really nice to see it on the iPhone, especially since usually when Apple implements, you know, a new feature, even though it's been out there for quite some time, it has a pretty great impact on the market and the industry. Just to give you a few examples, Touch ID, Retina display, even the wireless card inside your laptop. Yes, all of these were initiated by Apple, at least when it comes to a wider market. So you expect to see, what this means is that you should be able to see much more wireless chargers in coffee shops, fast food chains, airports, and of course, Amazon. So as you can see, I just placed my iPhone 8 onto this charging pad, and boom, it charges wirelessly. Now, you don't really need an Apple charger, so I actually used a pretty cheap one that I got from Amazon. In case you want to get this one, it's pretty cheap and works. So any key charger would work, and if you are interested in buying some key chargers, Qi chargers, that's how you pronounce it, I'll leave the link for some pretty good ones and some cheap ones in the description. And other than that, the performance on the iPhone 8 is just insane. So the Apple 11 processor inside this thing is crazy. It's comparable to a 2017 13-inch MacBook Pro. So you can edit 4K videos easily on this thing. You can produce music. So this tiny phone is crazy powerful. And then another big feature when it comes to the iPhone 8 would be camera and especially video. So the iPhone 8 is the first phone in the world, well, the Note 8 is getting an update, by the way, but the first phone in the world launched, at least, that can do 4K video at 60 frames per second. But interesting enough, if you go to settings and camera, it's not enabled by default. So you have to go into settings, into formats, and enable HEVC encoding. And once you've done that, you should now be able to see 4K 60. And same goes for slow motion. So the iPhone 8 can now do slow motion 1080p at 240 frames per second. And besides this, we also get a pretty big camera improvement, and that's the sensor. So the sensor on the iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, and the iPhone 10 is larger than, the previous one on the iPhone 7. And according to Apple, it lets about 83% more light in. And just take a look at these photos that I took. So this is the one from my iPhone 7 Plus, and now this is the iPhone 8 one. And as you can see, the iPhone 8 image, it has so much less noise than the iPhone 7 Plus's one. So if you zoom in, it's much sharper than the iPhone 7 Plus's one, and same applies to the second photo. So I would say that there's a pretty big difference in picture quality overall and sharpness, so this is definitely an improved sensor. By the way, if you want me to do an in-depth camera comparison, actually I will be doing one, but if you want to see it as soon as it comes out, definitely subscribe and enable notifications so that you see the in-depth camera comparison between the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 7 as soon as that one comes out. Okay, so other than that, my first impressions, or you could call this my initial 1 hour review, is that this one looks and feels pretty much the same as the iPhone 7 did. And the iPhone 7 looked and felt pretty much the same as the iPhone 6s did, which, felt like an iPhone 6 did back in 2014. So in the end, you're not getting that much when it comes to novelty with the iPhone 8. So you're getting better performance, obviously. You're getting pretty much all the camera features, almost, except for the dual camera and, the depth effects and the portrait lighting and emojis and so on from the iPhone 10. So you're getting the camera performance from the iPhone 10, but in the end, the iPhone 8 feels like an iPhone 6s, because this is essentially what it is. But I do love the new gold color. So stay tuned for my iPhone 8 Plus unboxing and first impressions video, which is coming pretty soon. So definitely subscribe and turn on notifications, which I've already mentioned twice. I'll have a lot more videos on the iPhone 8 coming soon. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus? Is any of you getting an iPhone 8 or an iPhone 8 Plus, or are you just all waiting for the iPhone 10? But yeah, this has been pretty much it. So thank you for watching. I'm Daniel. I'll see you soon. Son of Tech, signing out. Cheers.